Hello, my name is Reinaldo Cooke. I was recently hired by Oregon State University as Extension Beef Specialist, and I'll be stationed at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center here in Burns. This week, I'll be talking about nutritional management of the postpartum cow. The major objective of cow-calf operations is to produce one calf per cow every year. The average gestation length of beef cows is 280 days. Therefore, beef cows should be able to become pregnant within 85 days after calving. However, beef cows may experience a period of infertility following calving that may last 60 days or more. The length of this period, which is commonly denominated postpartum interval, highly determines the reproductive performance of cows during the following breeding season. Therefore, reducing the postpartum interval of the cow herd will benefit the overall efficiency of cow-calf operations. Nutrition is the factor that most affects reproduction in cows. Cows that calve inadequate nutrition have decreased postpartum interval and greater pregnancy rates during the next breeding season compared to cows calving with inadequate nutrition. This week, I'll be further addressing the relationship between nutrition and reproduction, and also how to evaluate the nutritional status of beef cows. Body condition score can be used by beef producers as an indicator of cow nutrition status. Typically on a 1 to 9 scale, where 1 is a thin cow, 5 is moderate, and 9 is an obese cow, body condition score is a visual assessment of the cow's body composition and correlates with the amount of body nutritional reserves that the cow has. As an example, in cows with body condition 1, we can visually detect the bone structure of the shoulder, ribs, back, and hooks. In cows with body condition 5, the ribs are not visible, and the areas on each side of the tail head are well covered but not mounded. In cows with body condition 9, bone structures are not seen or neither felt by touch. The tail head is covered by fat, and the animal has trouble in moving around. Because of this close relationship with nutritional status, body condition score is highly associated with the reproduction. On average, body condition of 5 indicates that cows have adequate body reserves to rebreed. Thus, beef cattle producers should make sure that the cow herd calves and enters the next breeding season with a body condition of at least 5. Improvements in body condition score can be achieved via nutritional decisions, particularly forage management and supplementation programs. As commented yesterday, beef cattle producers should make sure that the cow herd calves and enters the breeding season with a body condition of at least 5, which is typically considered the critical body condition for adequate reproduction of beef cows. However, producers should also be aware that overfeeding and thus overconditioning beef cows can harm the production system, and not only from the feed input standpoint. Recent studies indicate that cows that initiate breeding with body condition greater than 7 had reduced pregnancy rates compared to cows with body condition 5 and 6, and similar pregnancy rates compared to cows with body condition less than 4. Excessive nutritional intake can harm fertility and also harm the ability of cows to maintain the pregnancy. It is also important to understand that if cows are overconditioned during the postpartum interval, nutrient intake should not be restricted because cows will stop cycling right away and become unfertile as soon as they enter a negative nutrient balance. As commented yesterday, beef cattle producers should not make sure that the cow herd calves and enters the breeding season with a body condition of at least 5, which is typically considered a critical body condition for adequate reproduction of beef cows. However, if the cow herd is calving with body condition of 4 or less, there is still hope. Cows with low body condition score before and near calving can still experience good pregnancy rates if offered energy and protein at least 20% above the requirements during the early postpartum period. However, this is an emergency procedure and likely will be detrimental to the cow-calf operation, particularly because it requires an intensive and often costly feeding program. In addition, inadequate nutrition and consequent body condition score of cows during late gestation can harm the health and future performance of the calf crop. The two most important factors in cow-calf operations are reproduction and nutrition. Reproduction efficiency is optimal when cows are able to produce one calf every year. Nutrition is the external factor that most affects reproduction. Therefore, beef cows should always be maintained on adequate nutritional status. Beef producers can use body condition score to evaluate the nutritional status of the cow herd and therefore serve as basis for management decisions regarding nutritional management. Research studies reported that cows calving with body condition between 5 or 6 have greater pregnancy rates compared to cows calving with body condition less than 4 or greater than 7. However, nutritional strategies to increase cow body condition during the postpartum period are typically costly, and reducing body condition during the postpartum period is also detrimental to cow reproductive function. Therefore, beef cattle producers should pay special attention to the body condition of the cow herd throughout the year, and make sure that cows calve enter the postpartum period and are exposed to breeding with moderate body condition score, which means 5 or 6. This is all for the week. I'm Reinaldo Cooke, and thanks for listening.